Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of r/AITA. In today's episode, AITA for parroting the things my wife says to me back at her? AITA for swearing at a coworker for contacting me while on Do Not Disturb? AITA for ignoring and not including my female coworker. Before we get started, make sure to subscribe so you will never miss a video. So let's get started. AITA for parroting the things my wife says to me back at her? So it's my 11-year anniversary tonight. Not sure it has any bearing on this story, but I think it's important to bring up. We had a party at our place with some friends and neighbors, and toward the end of the party, I was visibly intoxicated but decided to have another beer because that's just what I do on a Friday night. Upon seeing me retrieve this beer, my wife says, "Ugh, another one, really?" sounding all bent out of shape. This doesn't really bother me because I've been married to this super fly lady for 11 years now. About 4 minutes later, I see her getting a Rice Krispie treat, so I jokingly say, "Ugh, another one," completely free of profanities or anything, trying to show I'm just messing around because that's just my person. I'm now in the doghouse and she's pissed because I was making fun of her weight and that getting a dessert is different than sobriety, and I tried to explain that it was not making fun of anyone's weight, just parroting someone getting +1 of something, but it has fallen upon deaf ears and I have been asshole branded in our house. It should be noted that I am not struggling with sobriety or any other such issues. I just hear and see things that make me laugh and I want to keep it going. AITA for parroting my wife? YTA. You were parroting her specifically for the purpose of being an asshole. You knew it was annoying and not remotely constructive. You say you just want to keep doing things that make you laugh. So you just enjoy being annoying and you don't care about others, making you the asshole. You're extremely lucky your wife has put up with you for so long. Grow up and apologize. Also, commenting on someone else's eating is absolutely different from commenting on how much they're drinking. It is not. No one should publicly shame someone about something related to sobriety. That is appalling. Even if he did not receive it that way, it was offensive. Am I the asshole for mocking my wife after she expressed displeasure at my continued drinking after I had already reached the point of drunkenness? I'm not struggling with sobriety. You sure about that? YTA. So you was getting sloppy drunk and she made a comment, you in return called her fat. Sloppy drunk on their wedding anniversary. Hey, that's just what he does on Fridays. Are you sure you're not struggling with sobriety? Because that comment from your wife suggests that maybe you are, and maybe you aren't the best person to see it. As for the comment, yes, YTA, and you know you were doing it to get back at her. Visibly drunk, having another, because that's just what you do on Fridays. Sounds like someone unaware that they have a problem. If this is what you do on a Friday, do you mean that you always overdrink every single weekend? But you said it was a special occasion. Does this then mean that you're overdrinking every single weekend, whether or not it's a celebration? Could it be that you're a mean drunk? Your joke sounds meant to entertain you by hurting your wife and making her feel bad about her body. Could it be that you have a pattern of behavior of your weekly drinking that makes you always hurt her feelings? Maybe wanting to keep it going is exactly what your mean drunken self does on a weekly basis? Maybe you're always saying things under the guise of a joke that hurt. Like a typical drunk. Maybe if you really care about this woman and your relationship, you will sit and stop being defensive and assess whether you do have a drinking problem. Sure, it's just the weekends, but maybe not. Maybe you're always hurtful. Maybe you use it as an excuse to be hurtful. Start by asking your wife if you can ask her some tough questions. Ask her if she's happy, if she's okay with how much you drink. If you're mean to her when you're drunk, ask her if this one joke is the usual crap you pull when you're drunk to attack her, but pretend it's a joke. YTA, and you will always be in these situations. Instead of handling yourself like an adult who's been married for 11 years, you decided to be a 5-year-old and hit your wife with a clear insecurity. Mockery is never to give you the high road in any situation. Well said, and I agree. YTA 11 years, you know just which buttons to push. She said it first, vastly more aggressively than he did? And how do you know that drinking isn't an area he's insecure about? All this benefit of the doubt for her and not an inch of it for him. At absolute most, this is an ESH. YTA. You were visibly intoxicated and had another drink. Her calling you on that means she probably is taking issue to how much you're drinking, especially if you are hosting. You retaliated with comment just because you thought it was funny and wanted to keep a joke going? But you didn't find it funny and wanted to get back at her? YTA dude, she has a point. Like getting another drink and getting a dessert are two vastly different things. I can see where you come from, but you might want to apologize for targeting your wife's insecurity in the open like that, and maybe once she's cooled down you can offer your perspective. AITA for swearing at a coworker for contacting me while on Do Not Disturb? I have a coworker who comes to me for assistance. That's fine. However, when I'm on Do Not Disturb in Teams, he will send me multiple emails or call me on my phone. It's never anything important, just minor stuff that could wait until my meetings are over. I've talked to him 3 or 4 times, telling him that he needs to either wait, or if he must email me it has to stop at 1 and I'll reply to him when I can. He sent emails every few minutes asking for an answer. If I decline his call, he'll call right back. He's been talked to by management about this. Last week, I sent him a terse email when he emailed me several times during an important meeting. Stop. I've told you I'll get back to you when I can. If I'm on Do Not Disturb, that doesn't mean unless your name is Joe. This is the last time I'll be polite. Finally, he emailed me again on Monday. Multiple times. So, I replied with something along the lines of, do you know how to read? Have you listened to a thing I've said? Do not disturb means leave me alone. We've had polite conversations about this, but I'm going to be more blunt. You're actively hindering my work. Note, he's not trying to bait me, he just thinks that he should be able to get an answer right away from a person. He and a few co-workers claim I was an asshole and out of line for swearing at him and being demeaning. AITA? Your correct course of action should have been to CC his manager on one of the multiple emails you get from him, explaining that you've asked him to stop calling you on your phone and sending you multiple emails demanding an answer when you're in meetings. If you cuss out your coworkers, expect a call from HR or a talking to yourself about professional conduct in the workplace. Asshole plus asshole equals 2 assholes, not 1 asshole and 1 guy in the right when it comes to a professional setting. And attach the other 5 emails he sent you as evidence. This exactly. It's a working environment, you shouldn't be cursing out coworkers no matter how obnoxious they are. You go to management/HR, tell them the problem isn't going away and let them handle it. A colleague is annoying, so, rather than take it to their supervisor, I started swearing at them and sent them an incredibly aggressive email. Both of you are in the wrong, here. He's guilty of not being patient, but you're being abusive and hostile over a comparatively petty annoyance. Your response is wildly disproportionate to the offense. If he's sending you multiple emails when you're on D&D, take it to his supervisor and let them deal with it. That's literally their job. Now you've just made yourself look like an aggressive and potentially created more problems for yourself. It might have been satisfying to blow up at him, but it wasn't helpful and could very easily bite you in the ass. It's sad that swearing is seen as worse than actual harassment. There needs to be a justified option. That dude sucks. You were 100% an but I don't blame you. You took every reasonable measure you could, but that dude clearly counts on people being reasonable so he can abuse them. But I can't blame you. I feel the same way. I don't blame OP for losing his cool, I definitely would have wanted to say those things. But you handled it poorly. I hope you don't get fired for this, but yeah, People always ask for a justified verdict, but a justified is still an OP was way out of line with sending an email like that and is probably going to get themselves in trouble over it. Your coworker sounds like a nightmare, honestly. AITA because you responded in a way that turned an inconvenience into a hostile work environment. What are you doing checking your emails during a meeting anyway? That's on you. If you're annoyed by the notification sound, then turn off your notifications. You can prevent calls by taking your landline off the hook or setting up DND on your mobile phone. I disagree. There is no indication OP is checking emails during the meeting. OP can see the multiple emails once the meeting is over. And it was already a hostile work environment for OP. OP is being bombarded by this coworker. And perhaps OP can't use the DND option on phone. OP is expecting that others can read and will respect their status. Maybe I'm confused, but when you go on Do Not Disturb, doesn't that mean you don't get notifications of emails and won't get calls? I still get email notifications while on Do Not Disturb in Teams. So I close Outlook if I can or turn off all notifications, and hope I remember to turn them back on later. Right? This post has me scared that I am doing something wrong at my job. I talk to people all of the time when they are on Do Not Disturb on Teams, and I also talk to other people when I'm on Do Not Disturb. For me, all it does is block the notifications, and it's easier to do that than to mute specific convos. I guess I might still get emails, but I always create rules for people who send me a lot of emails that disrupt my work. It sends them to separate folders and never notifies me. I just check those inboxes manually. A few questions. What's the problem with sending you an email while you're on Do Not Disturb? I can understand why it's a problem to call you or send an IM, but an email is in your inbox and you can choose not to look at it until you're ready. Also, what is this guy's position in relation to yours? When he contacts you, is he asking about things that he needs to get through his workday? It is not that coworker sends an email while OP is on DND. It is that coworker keeps sending emails about the same topic/question until OP answers the email. Whether OP is on DND or not, it is beyond annoying for someone to continually send emails about the same thing until you answer. And OP said these were non-urgent questions. And even if they are urgent, there are times when people aren't available and folks need to respect that. Everyone saying not TA has never had a real job. You never respond like that no matter how tempting. Just keep a record of everything and go to their manager, your manager or HR if you have to. As it stands now, you are the more likely person to get fired. That's the sucky part. OP is now on the hot seat. What I would have done is say, if I am not available and you need an answer right away, go to my boss and continue to escalate. Then co-workers' issues are highlighted and defensible position is all urgent requests should go up the chain. And then I would ensure I reply to every email he sent CCING their boss, even if to say as answered in prior email or such. AITA for ignoring and not including my female coworker. This is not an issue I am having with the company, this is just something with me and her. It's probably happening with other male coworkers, but I can't speak on their behalf. I work in an office and have a normal friendly relationship with my coworkers. We joke at times and have gone for drinks after work. None of these people are my best friends or anything, but I'm cool with them, including the women. Recently a new woman was hired, and shortly after that we received a message from HR. They said that we were going to have some employee conduct and harassment meeting. They brought in a speaker and we watched some videos and did an online test like at a job orientation. Basically, we learned to keep conversations work-focused. Avoid or limit conversations after hours or not at the job. Obvious things like never make comments on physical appearance or do anything inappropriate. They even gave acted out examples. There was a video of someone bumping into a coworker at the park and they showed the right and wrong examples. The right was just basic formalities and keeping it moving. The wrong was extending the conversation and asking about their day. I didn't think anything of it because we have HR meetings like this from time to time. Never this extensive though. The new employee pretty much said that she asked for this meeting to happen. She said that she agreed with everything we learned and that it was good to know. Now I'm not here to judge her or say she did the wrong thing. I don't know what she experienced in short time she's worked here or at a previous job. I don't know the kind of life she has lived or what she's gone through. I really don't want this to become people saying, "Don't trust women." I was at a coffee shop after work and she came in shortly after me and tried to strike up a conversation. I kept it friendly and short and then resumed what I was doing. She seemed put off by that. And then literally the similar situation to the video I mentioned happened. I was at the grocery store, we bumped into each other, I said short small talk things and wished her a nice day. With my other coworkers, including women, I am more buddy-buddy and we have inside jokes. My coworkers buy me birthday presents and we have a good time. Me and new coworker work in the same small department, so she interacts with me a lot. She approached me and said that I am ignoring and isolating her. I told her I just don't want anything to be misconstrued. I keep it professional. If I'm ordering coffee/food for the group, I ask what she wants. I just make sure to not bring up personal life stuff with her. Edit. I'm just lost at like her getting HR to show us how to properly interact with a coworker. And then me interacting with her in the way HR showed makes her upset. I get that she could have gone through something in the past. Just don't know what she wants from me. I'm doing what HR suggested. I'm obviously not going to give my coworkers I already have a bond/friendship with the cold shoulder to accommodate to one new person. She said she agreed with everything we learned from HR, so I am just applying it. I'm not doing this out of some lame revenge desire. NTA. You're doing exactly what your HR mandated training advised. Your coworker has told you that your coworker feels isolated and ignored. Mention to HR or your manager that you are adhering to the training, but your coworker has expressed feeling isolated and ignored. Now you would like official guidance dealing with this situation. Get this documented. Yep. She may be looking to get OP involved in an incident that will allow her to sue the company. Or she may be one of those people who is so full of unhappiness everything everyone does is wrong and makes her a victim. OP is 100% right in dealing with her this way. NTA. NTA. This is ridiculous. There's nothing wrong with coworkers being friends, or even dating. She asked for this, and that's what she's getting. Your employer is also the asshole for trying to coerce employees to not be friends with each other. That's also a great way to increase turnover. NTA. Here a Germany courts already ruled around 2003 that these rules are totally out of line and that companies have zero right to interfere in any way in the personal life of the employee after working hours and even during working hours. To regulate behavior can be quite unlawful really fast. Can't imagine that this is legal where OP lives. NTA. She got exactly what she wanted. SHE asked for the training/meeting and admitted that it was at her request. Now that she's the odd man out, she's not happy. If I were you, I'd keep things professional and hang with the other coworkers. What is the saying? Be careful what you wish for because you just might get it. Coworker did just that and now doesn't like it. NTA op. She wants to be the one doing the isolating. Everyone else is supposed to be tripping over themselves trying to get her to be their friend. NTA. She announced she asked for the meeting as a new hire. What did she expect would happen? You are just covering your own ass. Of course, it's going to be off-putting to all other employees because she, as a new hire, appears to potentially be problematic. I genuinely can't think of a faster way to become a social outcast at work than pulling something like this. Like she needs to find another job somewhere else if she wants to make friends at work because she killed any chance all on her own. Your employer doesn't want coworkers to ask each other about their days? That doesn't sound like an anti-harassment training. That sounds like a how to make sure your employees don't know each other well enough to even consider unionizing training. Anyways. The new employee, hey, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to make you feel excluded. I just want to be respectful of your boundaries about fraternizing outside work. NTA. Oh, maybe she's a union busting plant. What is this? Why wouldn't coworkers be allowed to be pals outside of work anyway? If she specifically said she agreed with what the meeting said, then she already made her decision to exclude herself from social events, I guess. I say NTA. Not only did she agree with what was said at the meeting, but she was the one who initiated said meeting. Honestly, this is how to make friends as an adult. How weird to make it impossible for coworkers to strike up friendships. NTA. You followed the directions of the meeting that she asked for, and now she feels excluded? NTA. My first thought would have been, is this a trap? Look out for yourself, my dude. It sucks, but no one else is going to look out for you. She poisoned the well and now she's pissed she can't drink from it. It's ridiculous for an employer to say you can't be friends outside of work. That's just a way to divide people and create a less cohesive workforce when management gets tough or gets it wrong. To be clear, I think the training guidance is right for people like this. You clearly can't trust her. But carry on as normal with all your other colleagues. NTA. That's a way for the company to combat favoritism and clique problems. Not saying I agree with it. Just that is the most likely reason for them having a policy like that. Cliques cause far more issues with cohesiveness than employees keeping relationships strictly professional. If you made it to the end of the video, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe and share, and we will see you in the next video.